Okay, Caiden. So Iron Sharpens Iron Camp. How are the duels going for you so far here in Indiana?
Actually, pretty well. I came here not really quite knowing what to expect. My confidence was kind of low because 8th grade I was kind of top of the block, and then 9th grade I was getting beaten down by there were like 5 different captains, like 18, 19 years old. One guy actually had when he took off his singlet after he beat me, he had like the Ohio State like Junior Olympic symbol like right here on his chest, and that kind of lowered my confidence a bit. Not to mention my performance in practice wasn't as good as it used to be, but I've kind of like figured out the right mindset that I kind of decided to be aggressive and try things, and now I have one more duel to do today, and I've wrestled, not counting the extra match that I did yesterday. I'm at my record's 5-3.
You're 5-3?
Yep.
So,
not counting the extra match that I did, which I also won.
okay, so you're 6-3 actually.
If you want to put it that way.
Well,
yes.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put it in there. I'm gonna put that at 6-3 in there. Okay. Sure. What grade are you in now? What are you going into?
Sophomore year.
So you'll be a sophomore, right?
Yep.
So you're at Berlin. Berlin is a new school, right?
Yes.
It's 2 years old.
This is its coming up as its second year in operation. Yes.
Okay, so you go to a new school. It's a new program. But Coach Heffernan, Coach Moore, they kind of have a little bit of experience, right?
Yes, they do. I actually met Coach Heffernan and Coach Moore at least Coach Heffernan at the Cardinal Wrestling Camp, Cardinal Wrestling Club that's done stuff in at Otterbein University, hence the name, in spring and early summer. And this last year it was moved to Berlin and Delaware Hayes for simplicity's sake.
Okay, so there's some challenges obviously when you wrestle. Okay, that your opponents have to keep contact with you, right?
Yeah, but I've done it for years, so it's not so much a challenge for me so much as a challenge for them.
When you look at it, do you look at that as an advantage where you can keep your hands on them all the time?
It is kind of a thing because like if they break away or if I break away, and especially if the clock is stopped every time something happens, you have to bring me back to the center and start again, or like restart. Well, not like start over the time, but like just continue from where we left off from the center.
Okay, so having challenges, obviously.
And obviously they can't. You know how some guys like back up and shoot?
Yeah.
They can't do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they have to be in contact with you. They can really injure you.
Yeah. Well, but on the downside, I figured this out earlier. Like this kind of explained to me earlier. And it's an area I'm working on. My legs are extremely vulnerable since they don't have to back up. They just have to go, and it's right there.
So they're close. They can grab your legs at your point is because they're in contact.
Yeah,
with
they
you,
can
right?
just like go like, and they're right there. So I have to work on making the first move or just building up my leg defense and staying in a low stance, which isn't easy when I'm strong with the upper body.
Okay, so when we talk challenges, right? Coach Matt McDonough was here yesterday from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, he was cool.
He was really cool, right? But when I was looking at you, watching you watch the technique, watching you listen to the technique, rather, right? And he sat you front and center. Explain that whole situation to me and how that occurred and how you got front and center with him.
So he had a policy. It was sort of a motivational thing. Sorry, I don't like keeping pressure on one knee out for very long.
You're good.
But he had a policy for motivation, like to get people back from drilling and into the center quickly, where the last person who got there had to drop and do push-ups, like 5 push-ups. And one guy was like I was coming in with my partner, he was guiding me in, and he kind of loudly remarked, sorry. I was like, sorry. I kind of apologized, like, sorry. And my partner kind of explained, I was guiding a blind person. He was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, the left eye is fake too. And he was like, oh, it is. It's like, it's hand painted, so it just looks realistic. And he's like, and I kind of had to explain, like, yeah, I'm totally blind. So.
But he figured that out after he looked at you, right?
Like, after I kind of explained that to him. Because he couldn't tell right off the bat. Most people think my left eye is real, which it isn't. And then he kind of let me sit, and then he told me to move up, and so it was closer to the front so I could hear more clearly, and that actually helped me a bit. It didn't help me understand the move more, but I could actually hear him speaking.
Okay, when you can hear him speaking, but you can't actually obviously see the moves, how do you pick up the techniques when they explain that, and when they're sitting there talking through the moves, but you can't see it? You actually have to feel the move more often, right?
Yeah, my partner. Sometimes when we're at our home practices, they will use people as dummies, and sometimes I have the privilege of being one of them, but sometimes like my partner or some of my coaches, or maybe even my dad sometimes, will come over and help me and figure out the move.
Yeah, so you got to feel it. So you almost got to be the dummy.
Yeah, they have to show me first before I get it, and then they have to walk me through and correct me on certain things. And eventually I get it down, but yeah, I have to know what it feels like first.
Okay, coming to Iron Sharpens Iron here. We're up, what are we at? 2 hours from Columbus, I think, something like that. What is your favorite thing about coming to Iron Sharpens Iron camps here in Indiana?
Oddly enough, I think the duels, which oddly enough was like the part I was looking forward to the least when I first got here. Because, confidence.
Now we're back up. But now you have the confidence, right?
Yeah, I've figured out just to be aggressive and to try things and to kind of push my stuff first, and that's actually helped me out a ton. And it's just fun. It's nerve-wracking before and a little bit after, but like during the match and like immediately after, it is like the best, and like especially when you win, it is like one of the best feelings of adrenaline ever, especially when your teammates like pile praise on you immediately after. Before it's kind of like, oh my gosh, and afterwards it's like, holy crap, I'm dead. But like during and immediately after, it feels great. And it's a very energetic sport in a way. In retrospect, it's very freeing.
All right. Last thing, what's your favorite thing about wrestling? Why do you wrestle? What's your favorite thing about this sport?
Other than the fact that my parents have made me do it for years.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
So one of the things when we talk, I gotta add this because this is important.
I was gonna ask you anyway, Dad.
One of the things that's important for him, he can't look up technique on flow.
Yeah.
He can't YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
He has to learn the sport on the mat
It's all
with
feel.
the coaches.
It's all feel.
So this is what's important for him. All the clinicians, the coaches, that's where he learns the sport. Because once he goes home, there's no audio description of technique on flow or any other place.
Besides, you could
So
say-
he's got to be on point here
Besides, you
with
could
the coaches and with the clinicians because this is where he learns the sport.
But, like you could say,
Thanks,
you
Dad.
grab this
Appreciate it,
leg.
And I didn't make him right.
I figured you
You
did
could say
it.
like you need to grab this leg, or even if you're more specific, you need to grab his left leg and pull it up. I'm like, okay, do I have to like pull it up like by the knee or by the ankle, or do I have to put it? Is it mid level or like high level or mid level? Like I need to feel it. I need to know the exact details.
Well, it all makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. That's how you have to learn it, obviously, right?
Yeah, but going back to your original question, after my right eye, my second eye was removed, I was still a kid. I was still a boy. I still had energy I needed to burn, and football wasn't really an option for me. We didn't think at the time of like sports like baseball or anything. There were ball sports with like a beeper ball, but we found like wrestling. And Dad, if you want, you can kind of tell him how you feel about wrestling if you want. But
Yeah, give me Dad, hop in. Tell me how you,
Okay.
why wrestling?
it was a way for me to get my boyish energy out as a youth.
Yeah, so he was a cancer survivor. He was born with vision, lost his vision to cancer. He had retinoblastoma. He was 100% boy. So rough, tumble, impulsive, and we needed a way to get some of that deep pressure energy out. So we tried wrestling, and it was a little rough at first because he didn't know the sport and couldn't see, and
I vividly remember.
he got it handed to him quite a bit, but he started figuring it out, and he liked it. And we're like, well, there's very few modifications that you have to do in order for him to wrestle and be a typical athlete. So wrestling's what it was.
If it tells anything, I vividly remember after one surgery, they had a patch over my eye, and I immediately just tore it off and started running around.
Yeah, so he had some go juice. All right, you guys got another duel coming up. You got anything else for me? I know you got a ton for me. Dad, you got anything else for me?
Hey,
Yeah.
thumbs up.
What's up?
What's up? Thanks for the time, guys. Good luck.
Hard work.